Today we have more options for heart health, more on antibiotic overload, and the joys of biking. Dr. Matthias Rath talks about his theory that links certain vitamin deficiencies with weakened hearts. Also, Dr. Keith Sainert tells us 50 ways to boost your immune system. Might not get to all 50, but we'll have some big ones, and try to get beyond that need for some antibiotics. And the couple that bikes together finds all kinds of new thrills for mind, body, and spirit. Patricia Mooney and Mark Schultz take us along on their video odysseys. I'm your host, Carol Martin. Welcome on this Monday. Join us for the next hour of Alive and Wellness. Wonderful studio audience today. Thanks everybody for being with us here on Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Hope you're enjoying the holiday and making it a special and meaningful day wherever you are. You know, every day here on Alive and Wellness, we try to present information intended to acquaint you with alternative methods to make your life better. You know, though, a lot of these methods are unproven at this point, so we hope you will investigate them further and then consult your doctor first before you decide to try anything new. Of course, we want to hear from you in the next hour. We've got some interesting topics and you can probably learn from them, or we'd love to hear your contributions. You know the number, 1-800-988-TALK, 1-800-988-8255. So let's get started this Monday. If you're married and one of your long-term goals is to do more with your mate, how many of you resolved that this new year? We'll get a load of our first guests. Now, they linked up their love for mountain biking with their love for each other, and voila, wait till you see this. We're talking about a couple who have been on a roll ever since, and that's only part of the benefits of biking. We're talking better health, better knees, she had severe arthritis, and less stress on their lives as well. As they park their bikes, let's meet from new and unique videos, husband and wife team Patricia Mooney and Mark Schultz. Come on over, guys. Hi, how are you doing, Patricia? Welcome. Hi, Mark. Happy day. Good to have you with us. Thank you so much. You know, it was so nice. You let her go ahead of you. That was a very genteel thing to do. Got your helmets on. We're going to talk about how important all of this is. Well, what a unique story that you guys have. You met many years ago. Tell me your story of how you got together.
Well, we met on Valentine's Day in 1982.
How appropriate. That's good.
It was on a balcony. I was going to be in a play, singing in a play for the World Hunger Project, and Mark was videotaping it. He had his camera up above on the balcony, and our eyes met.
Sort of love at first sight.
And the rest is biking history. Now, this had nothing to do with biking, though. You weren't into that. You didn't know anything about. It was just a mutual, that attraction was there.
That was one of our first loves, which was, my first love was video, and hers was being out there working like that too. So after we met, it was a natural progression to try and bring our passions of discovery and whatnot of various items.
We all know how important it is to cementing a relationship, to have something in common. But one of the things that we'll talk more about your love of biking, but you had a pre-existing condition that made biking something that you never even considered, right?
Right. It was an arthritic knee, which is still with me. And the only thing I could do is swim or bicycle, so bicycling turned out to be just great for the knee.
Now, when we're talking, let's just make sure everybody knows that you had an arthritic knee that was a medical marvel of sorts, right? It was really bad.
Right. The last time I saw a doctor who took x-rays, he said he was going to use those x-rays at a medical convention.
Oh, my goodness. So you said it was like an 80-year-old.
Right, the knee of an 80-year-old.
So were you constantly in pain with it?
Every so often, weather would make it feel very uncomfortable, achy.
A day like today could do it. Yeah, we've got a damp day. So you hadn't been into any sport like that, I would imagine, because of that.
No, especially not running or anything like that. Nothing like that would hurt the knee.
So what came first? I mean, Mark brought you into this, or how did the biking start?
Well, basically, we were on a trip. We kind of dropped the video business in '86. And took a trip across the country where we discovered mountain biking in the Yukon. We were very fascinated by that whole aspect. Found it as soon as we got back in '86, '87, we went out and bought mountain bikes and basically started our love of biking then. So that was sort of the video and the biking started.
Now, excuse my ignorance on this. You need a mountain bike to do that kind of exploring. A 10-speed won't do it. A dirt bike won't do it. You need that. What's the difference in a mountain bike?
The main difference is that they're thicker tires, so you have more ground contact, better brakes, and a lot more gearing so that you can get up and down the hills. Even if you're in the flat areas of Kansas, you'd like to have that option to be able to ride around so that your dirt roads, you don't have to worry about tires sliding out on you. You can do it anywhere.
So a mountain bike is not a bad option instead of a 10-speed.
Oh,
anyway,
right.
It's a better option, really, for any kind of, no matter where you live.
If you live in New York City, you'll see most of the bicycle messengers will probably be on mountain bikes. They can jump up the curbs and go down like that. So it's a real great way to do it. So get out there and try it.
One of the things we were going to get in the discussion with you today was an understanding of really how this contributes to your whole sense of well-being. We know it's fun. We know that it's helping your knees there, Patricia, but the bottom line about reducing stress is a big piece of business, right? Mark, maybe you could share with us. Whoops, you want to get your crystal in place? Oh, okay, cool.
Basically, the whole thing about mountain biking for us is our passion. We have a chance to get out in nature. And I think that's the #1 thing. A lot of people, a lot of you viewers out there probably identify with the fact that when you're in your job, you sometimes take life a bit too seriously and start to get caught up in the whole game. Well, one of the nice things about mountain biking is when you're out there riding, whether it be on the dirt roads or out in the mountains, you have a chance to get a sense of well-being. You're concentrating on riding the bike. You're not concentrating on work back at the office or anything else. A chance to really kind of get your spirit up and running, so you feel really, really wonderful. That's the #1 thing. It's a kind of a spiritual connection back to earth.
Understood.
Like being a big kid again, too.
Oh, don't we all need that? Never hurts, right? And specifically the parts of the body that it's really advantageous for.
The legs, mostly. The butt.
The butt, good. Okay, always need to tighten that. Okay, right. It's cardio, of course.
Oh yeah, the
Exactly.
cardiovascular is excellent. Your lung capacity generally increases. Your cholesterol level goes down. Even if you're sitting at home watching TV, you can be doing that on a bike. You can get a stationary stand for the bikes.
Is there a ratio, Mark, of like how much biking you need to do to get a certain heartbeat going, heart rate going, or how much time do you really need to?
15 minutes plus is when you start getting that heart rate going.
Okay, okay. One of the little perks of this little avocation of Mark and Patricia was that you decided to get married on those bikes, right? And I love this. You know what, Christy Brinkley did it on skis. You guys did it before her, right, on bikes. We have a little bit of your wedding video that we wanted to share with everybody. Let's see if that clip's ready, is it? I think we can go to it. Let's take a look in our monitor here, if it comes up at all. Well, hang on, it's coming.
Basically, well, just to let people know that when we did meet and we met and we went on our trip and found out about bikes, we decided what a wonderful thing to do. So we decided to go ahead and get married on the mountain bikes.
What a great memory. Where were you? Where did this happen?
Oh, in our favorite spot in the world.
Which was?
In
the San Diego local mountains called Noble Canyon.
Noble
Not a
Canyon.
whole lot of where people would know where that is, but
it's
just
for
the
you
beautiful
guys,
mountains in the local area of San Diego.
So you bike up, here you go. Is this on the way up? Or there you are.
Yeah, we were.
This is great. This was in
1987.
87, all right.
Yep, and this is our actual minister there who's walking around.
Well, at least you didn't have to think about a big dress, huh, Patricia? Patricia, you couldn't have worn that. That would have been an interesting combination. So you rode up the mountain, and then your vows right up there.
Yeah,
now, how did everybody else get up? Did they ride or walk?
Well, basically, we took a four-wheel drive up pretty close. That's the nice thing about mountain biking is you can really get to places you can't get any other way.
Yeah,
you can see views and see things that you don't get to see any other way.
And sealed with a kiss. That's a nice memory, I know. So, you know, one of the things we were going to talk about, as I said, was the benefits, mind, body, spirit of this. And the important things you need to know if you're really going to, you said you have the right equipment. But when you get it together, you can do some wonderful things that you guys put on video. We got enough that we want to show a bit of some of the gorgeous places you've been able to go, huh?
Yeah, there's a lot of wonderful places. And matter of fact, we have had a chance to, this is up in Canada, and this is a chance for us to really get out and explore. This was all videotaped for a show that we're doing called Full Cycle of World Odyssey, which will hopefully be on TV later, and also will be out on home video soon.
And this is Greece right there, and that's the Matterhorn.
Tell me some of the places you've been on bikes.
Oh, India, Greece, Switzerland, Wales, Australia, Tahiti.
So you plan everything, all your trips around the bike path, the biking path, or do you make a path? I mean, do they have to have pre-existing?
Well, you don't. You should definitely stay on trails that are designated as trails.
Ooh, where's this? You're in snow?
Yeah, you can do it anywhere. And here's obviously a great
Canyon.
view.
Oh, is that my favorite place in the world?
Oh, it's excellent.
Yeah.
You get to see views like this that you won't get to see on a car. Here's what you'd see on a car, and then
Looks like
later on, of
Monument
course,
Valley
you
or
get a
something.
chance
Is
to
that what that
see.
is?
Yes,
Yeah.
Monument Valley.
Oh, I
the
never
American
thought of biking
Southwest.
through Monument. Yeah,
Oh,
Valley.
it's fun.
Now, how in the world
This is
you
in
can-
India, of course, where the elephant is picking up the bike.
Oh gosh, that's great. So we've got videos. This is something we wanted to tell everybody about. In fact, as we go into a short break, and then we're going to come back and talk some more. But if you're the 5th caller, you know our number, 1-800-988-TALK, and you have a question about mountain biking and how it can change your life, wait till you hear what you'll get. You can get a subscription to Mountain Biking Magazine, copies of the new and unique videos, mountain biking gear, and you can win a bike. So give us a call before I call. I'm going to call in today. We'll help you get started on your way to mountain biking. We'll be right back. That hurt just watching that, didn't it? That's what it feels like to wipe out. At least that's what it looks like. We're talking today on Live and It's about the benefits of mountain biking. Our guests are Patricia Mooney and Mark Schultz, a married couple who love mountain biking and have produced several videos, among them the Great Mountain Biking Video, Ultimate Mountain Biking, and Battle at Durango, just to name a few. They have their own company. We were watching that. Like I said, that hurts to see on a regular 10-speed. I wiped out one about a few years ago, broke 2 fingers. It can be such a terrible thing when it happens so quickly.
Oh yeah, we've never had any bad accidents like that.
You haven't?
Most
Good.
of the accidents occur, people get a little careless and whatnot, but that's the importance of having protective gear too, in case it does happen, because it can happen to anybody at any time.
Bam, yeah. Well, you've got
extreme
surfaces
conditions.
that are not predictable. Certainly, you can hit a rock and you're gone. I mean, so
Exactly.
you can't prevent anything like that. What is the how?
When you're riding on the bike, you just stay way back. You're working with your weight on the bike.
How does that work? Is there a way to show us on this bike just what you're meaning?
Well,
when you position
basically,
yourself?
yeah, when you're sitting over the bike, you'll be basically further back when you're on the bike. So you'll be like this. Also, it's real important. Nowadays, they have things called shocks, like these anti-gravity shocks here, will help suck up some of the bumps. So when you're hitting into a hard rock, that might take up about 2 inches of travel of a rock. So that usually helps out. Of course,
Let's not forget
the most
helmet.
important thing is the helmet.
Fortunately, this is law in most states now that you have to wear biking
Thank
helmets.
goodness. And
Anyway,
the
yeah.
gloves too are also important. Avenir gloves are what we are using, and the Troxel helmets. And you know, it's important to have that protective gear. Clothing like the black bottoms gear here. You can also wear the Lycra tights underneath if you like.
Now that's not
They have
just for a
chamois
look.
bottom.
Is that doing something to make the ride more effective? How
Yeah.
so?
So, well, a lot of times you'll be sitting on your seat. Especially you beginners out there, will have a chance to experience butt pain.
Yeah,
And you don't want
yeah.
to do that unless, of course, you're.
That really is a problem on a bike. I'm sorry.
After the first couple of days, though, it doesn't have a problem.
Is that
So
true, Patricia? I need something else, like another cover.
Well, there are seats, pad seats, a little more
you
padded.
can buy
so.
these, yeah. That helps.
Exactly.
Yeah. By the way,
the Motiv bicycle has different seats. This is a more titanium type seat, which is good for the butt.
yeah, if
Hers
you're
is
our 5th
softer.
caller, by the way, unless we've already got the winner, this is the bike you'll get, which is a really nice looking
One very similar to this.
Similar
yeah,
to
it's
this
made
one,
by
yeah.
Motiv.
Yeah.
Bikes start in range of anywhere from $200 and go on up.
Yeah, it's
Motiv makes a
considerable.
great line that's you can buy at Price Club, Costco, that kind of thing. And then the Kleins are you bought at bicycle stores. The Klein bicycle over there that you see runs for about $2,000 plus.
Wow,
And it's
yeah.
made in America too, and all very, very good bikes.
It can be an
they
expensive
can range.
proposition, though.
Oh, exactly.
Oh, yeah.
It all depends on how, what level of rider you are, how far you want to go. We obviously went around the world with these bikes, and so we wanted to have the very best. The grip shifting mechanism that you see up here are ways of shifting your rear derailleur so that you can get into lower gears to go climb up those difficult to get to hills.
Hills and the like, yeah. Well, you know what was amazing? I was asking Patricia about this in the break. When you're riding in India, riding all over the world, how do you know what to be prepared for? You know, I'm looking at our little bottle of water here. That's not all in it by itself. How much gear do you take? What do you carry, and what does the body need for these long trips?
Water is the most important because you'll sweat out lots of water without even knowing it sometimes, so you should at least bring a bottle of water. We usually bring things like a power bar or
You mean like the little granola bar, power bar? Okay,
something that won't get butt pouch. You use a butt pouch like this.
Oh, where does that run on you? You just put that around the back. Oh, I see. Okay.
And so anything that you like to, some people might bring bananas or oranges, things like that.
Also very important that Pat is alluding to also is making sure you bring a spare bicycle tire tube. Also having a pump is very important to have, like the Avenir pump here.
Oh, that's
if
a
you
nice
don't have,
pump.
this is a small pump for the small frame, but you need to, because if you're out in the middle of the wilderness and suddenly you get a flat tire, you don't want to have to walk away.
I can't imagine anything worse.
You know, with your bicycle. So you need to have a lot of that kind of gear.
That has happened to you, right?
To another point, you should never really ride alone in the outback. You should be with your friends, a friend or friends, and just in case things like that do happen.
We're not headed for the. We got a caller in Florida. I think it's Pat, is it? Deborah, I'm sorry. Deborah, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
We're doing fine, thanks. In fact, you get the bike. You're our 5th caller. We're real glad for you. You get a lot of stuff.
You.
Isn't that the best? You get all the stuff on the table behind us, too, and the videos and the helmets and the like. You're really a lucky person today.
That's wonderful.
Great. We're glad for you. You got a question for Pat and Mark?
I was going to ask them what they thought the best frame was. What they thought the best bike was to buy, but now that I've won one, I guess I don't need to know.
Whatever. You got it. Right? Does it matter? Anyway, did she pick a good one?
Oh, yeah. The Motiv is a good bike to have. It depends on the level, especially for intermediates and beginners. I think that's a great start. Yeah. They also have some of the higher end bikes, too, but I think a real important one also, like the Klein bike here, shows you that you can have that, too. If you want to buy a bike, a good thing to do is to try and first of all find out what the frame, make sure one that fits, go to your bike store, or if you want to, there's like this mountain biker's buyer's guide. You can buy them in almost any bike shop.
This is too tall for me, right? Yeah, that's something to know.
In the great
Mark,
mountain biking video here, it has about how to buy a frame.
This is all the stuff that our caller from Florida wins. By the way, this is too tall for me, right? Although this could be just our last seconds there. This is one of the ways to know when you're buying a bike, right?
Yeah, well, the best way is also stand over.
Stand over here?
Lower the seat down, right.
Lower the seat down.
Make sure you have a little bit of room in between yourself and your crotch, so you have a little air space in between.
And that's our last tip of the day. We really appreciate it, Pat Mooney Marshall. It's wonderful to meet you and have more fun on your trip.
If you want to know more.
Good. You know where their videos are. Thanks so much. We'll be back in a minute.
I had a lot of fun being on America's Talking. I mean, there were some bumps and there were some bruises, but no cuts. So why don't you watch?
No matter our hard history.
Yes, I'm following it, and everyone who's listening to the show should do the same. Order the book, form your own opinion. It's your life that is at stake and the life of your loved ones, and that's the basic message of this show.
And we'll keep you posted on more research from this area. We got to go. Thanks a lot, Dr. Rath, and have a great one. We'll see y'all tomorrow.